Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Happy Thursday. Happy hour Thursday.
Yeah, Kathy got here hours ahead just to say happy thirsty Thursday. She's been tailgating this entire afternoon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's what makes a great thirsty Thursday.
Rich C, by the way, joining us. His first live stream as a Patreon. He says he hasn't missed one at all.
I love it.
But as a Patreon. So welcome, Rich.
Welcome, Rich C.
Great to see you. Hello, Melissa and Daniel. So they're not happy hour on the East Coast, but it's maybe
it's true. It's like 8 p.m. They've already had dinner, after dinner drinks.
It's not really happy hour here either. Maybe we should call it the power hour.
Maybe the power hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of power hour, before we continue on here, just want to take a minute and notice there's nothing in our glasses.
Yeah, we're going to do a cork pop today.
Should we do that right now?
Probably. We're going to let it sit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's cork pop. First things first, this is our Whiskey Del Bach private barrel selection. Very excited about this. Everybody else got theirs except for us. Now we did get ours.
it did come like quite a bit later.
Yeah. So it's finally time to get into this thing. If you're wondering, how can I get mine? There are 15 bottles left. At least there were a couple hours ago, last time I checked. Go to our website. Or there's a link in the description of this video, but you can go to our website, thebourbonvan.com, and click on single barrels, and you can get yours. It's a beautiful bottle that deserves a really, really hearty cork pop. Are you ready?
I'm ready. And I'm excited because we haven't drank this in months since we picked it.
Yeah.
And everyone's been telling us how much they enjoyed it. Some people bought a second bottle.
We actually did taste it just a couple of weeks ago because we had the leftovers.
Oh, we did have the, but that's not the same as drinking it.
I just don't want to tell any lies to the people.
Good point. All right, are we all ready?
I'm ready.
Drum roll, please, Mavis. Nope, she's hiding her face.
Yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
Appropriate.
Yeah, it feels great. I feel great having heard that on a Thursday evening. So now the party can officially start. Welcome, everyone.
I'm going to start pouring, just blindly here.
Yeah, you know what? If we Julie pour that, that's not going to be the end of the world. And of course, tonight, the big deal is not only are we going to taste a little bit of this Del Bach, which will come later on. We want to give this some time to open up a little bit. That's a beauty right there.
Yeah, I didn't do too bad on that.
Gorgeous. Beautiful whiskey from Whiskey Del Bach, our friends in Tucson, Arizona.
Before we get into saying hi, I forgot about our cute little label.
Look at that, embossed in gold.
I love it.
I feel fancy.
We are so fancy. This is the fanciest we've been.
You can pop that right back here on the shelf, yeah. Because we have to be symmetrical. We need the even number of bottles on each side, or I just don't feel right.
Got a little on my hand.
Did you?
It smells delicious.
And got a little juice on the paws.
All right, I'm going to put that over here and let that breathe.
Great job. Well, welcome to Power Hour. And tonight we are sipping Hard Truth Spirits. Hard Truth from Indiana. Mm-hmm. We have some good friends in Indiana. I'm from there originally.
Yes.
And we have celebrated a lot of Indiana whiskey that we've tried. Old 55. Yeah. Outstanding. Starlight. Excellent whiskey.
I love Starlight.
Yeah. So there you go. Coupled right off the top of my head.
Yep.
MGP is based there. Who's the one that makes the Old Bones? I met one of their reps one time when I was there, and they were very nice. So I assume that that's a good company as well. Well, I don't think there's any reason to wait. Let's get into this Hard Truth.
Okay. Should we talk about? Yeah. Should I bring them forward?
Yeah. Okay. So I've got them in order.
Okay.
We're going to work our way in tonight. So on the outside is where we're starting here.
Okay.
With your super good glass. Yes. And some heavy pours this evening.
Well, we don't have to drink them all.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
So this is we're starting with the lowest proof of the bunch.
I was going to say you could see it, but you can't actually see the bottles right here.
Yeah. So this is their Hard Truth Distilling Company, Sweet Mash Bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, small batch, non-chill filtered. And let's see.
I will say I'm digging the bottle.
I love this bottle. It's so heavy. I have a feeling it's going to be heavy even when there's not whiskey in it.
It reminds me of like the medicine bottles. It used to be smaller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though those were a little bit round, but I don't know, there's just something about it. It's like hefty.
A little grooved on the outside. And you can see their previous, if I can reach it here. This is what their previous bottles looked like.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. And here's what the new one looks like.
Love it.
And the difference is incredible. Yeah, it's a massive difference.
And sorry, because I get obsessed with the bottle, and we will venture in, but it's all etched in the back.
Yeah, it's got a story on the back and everything.
Anyway.
And aged in charred American oak barrels in Brown County, Indiana.
Love it.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, this is I do love this bottle. It's one of the best bottles. It's one of the best bottles in the game, I think. 90 proof bourbon. What is that joke? What did I miss?
I said, I bet it's not brown.
The county?
Like, I bet it's luscious and like
Oh, leafy.
Indiana. Yeah. So I was thinking
Rolling
like
hills.
rolling hills
and
and corn and whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
There's more than corn in Indiana.
Do you ever go to Indiana Beach?
I have never been to Indiana Beach.
Really?
No, we didn't do that.
Went there in 8th grade for our school school graduation trip.
I feel like we didn't cross state lines very often.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you were in
I don't know
Illinois.
why, because we would drive, 3 hours to Southern Illinois, but not 25 minutes into Indiana.
It's a hard line to cross. You never know what you're going to find when you skip across that state line. All right. Let's start with a sip of this bourbon.
Yes. Sorry.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and cheers.
Cheers. I was going to smell it, but let's let it go.
I'm in no mood. I'm thirsty.
I know you're ready to go.
Thirsty
and I
Thursday.
Just cheers. All right. Ooh.
Yum.
It is sweet. It almost tastes like a rye. There's a little bit of spice in there.
That's really nice. That's
Did you label
surprisingly attention getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was for 90 proof. I was expecting just to. We talked about this last night. Wow me with that first sip.
Yeah.
It's a callback from 2023, I think.
I think it is, and it did. This one totally wowed me, anyways.
Yeah.
A couple of comments coming in about your brand new haircut.
Oh, thanks, guys. Just yesterday, got those. I think my hair was probably here.
You woke up yesterday all tangled up in your own hair.
It was terrible.
Completely stuck, couldn't move. You're just stuck in her own hair, and she said, "I got it. It's got to go."
Yeah.
And that was it.
I feel like I'm like the least female because I only cut my hair twice a year. I cut it as short as possible.
Where the heck were we going on that?
And then I let it grow really long, and then I just cut it all off again twice a year. My hairdresser either loves me or hates me, but
yeah, twice a year, whether you need it or
whether
not.
I need it or not. But yeah, I think it turned out really great. And one of the reasons I was doing it is that I feel like I had every day when I wouldn't wash my hair every day, but like anytime I would wash my hair, I'd have a small little like voodoo hair doll. Like it was just so much hair was coming out, and I just needed to start avoiding that.
That's pretty strange.
So cutting it off, trying to help that. Little tumbleweeds down the hallway.
You know what I realized? We've got our names on there, Phil and Julie. Everybody knows us. I'm going to take that off of there.
What if there's new viewers who have never seen us before?
It's in the logo on the top right.
Can you see that?
You see it well enough. If you don't know our names, go ahead and put it in the comments. Reach out.
All right, let's say hi to some people.
Thank you, Andy Norris. Backbone is the name of that distillery, and they are very nice people. And I do want to get out there next time.
Oh, you said Old Bones.
Yeah, they make Old Bones. It's one of the whiskeys.
Okay.
I actually, they have a good sense of humor because they have one of their whiskeys that's not quite as old as the Old Bones, and they call it like not quite Old Bones or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I'm sure somebody out there knows.
I like a brand with a personality, like
exactly.
That likes to,
make funny things that taste good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of what I was gonna say. I was gonna like tickle my fancy, but that's such a weird thing to say. Feels like something your grandma would say.
Well, there is that. Doug Tucker's in Indiana right now. How about that?
Oh, nice.
Hey, Drifting Drams. I hear Drifting Drams is in Oregon right now.
Oh, I did hear this gossip come down the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, well, that's how we get our information out here through the Western Union telegrams on the Oregon Trail.
Totally, yeah.
Somebody did mention your shirt, and now I can't find the comment.
I was like, how long do you think it'll take somebody to just notice how freaking adorable this shirt is?
Look how cute it is.
Peeping through those blinds.
That's adorable. You know where that shirt came from?
It's a Rusty special.
That's our friend Rusty.
And I don't know if he's on yet, but
he's in there.
Oh,
he's there.
I'll be sure to give a triple thank you. I wore it to work today. Got a couple comments.
Right?
Yeah, they're like, cute shirt. It's so cute.
Did you get any comments that said anything other than cute?
No.
Yeah. See,
oh.
There's one comment. There's one descriptive word for that shirt, and it's cute.
It is so cute. I love it so much.
Couldn't be anything else.
Yeah. I don't ever want to wash it because you know how it's like, it's black and whatever. And as soon as I wash it, it's going to start fading. It's so vibrant right now.
Right now, it's just your hair that's on it.
Cut it all off. It's still coming out.
All right. Well, Julie's never going to wash this shirt. That's established now. you don't have to drink it all. How come someone hasn't mentioned this to me before now? That's what
Oh.
Russ has to say.
I'm
Hey,
guilty of that same comment, actually.
By the way, our friends Baker Drinks,
Hey!
that we are going to be on their live stream Saturday night,
Saturday night.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to see Troy and Laura
Yep.
on their channel. I don't know
Check
if there's
it
a
out.
link for it yet. If there is, go ahead and throw it in the chat here. But that's going to be a lot of fun Saturday night. We already received a flight.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to find out what's in that, because it's not it's labeled with letters.
I know, but not.
It's a mystery.
We don't know. Mystery whiskey.
We don't know.
Which is our specialty. We were actually just talking about how we're great at blinds and we usually get them wrong, which I feel like is great content.
Right. Well, the last thing that I ever want to do is start raising expectations on just, any sort of skill set whatsoever.
I feel like we're solid in everyone has different palates. You taste what you taste when you taste your whiskey. And so,
well, just drink what you like.
Yeah. As long as you get those base notes right. And then I'll randomly throw in like seaside froth or something.
Ew. Actually, that sounds kind of nice.
Nice. Yeah.
This is, wow, this is a really interesting nose. It's, there's bugs in the house. Cool. Almost like a fuzzy vanilla. There's one of those perfectly good notes that nobody's ever used before.
No.
But there's something textural about it, even on the nose, that it's almost like a plant blossoming. There's a little bit of a perfume there. And maybe I'm just saying that because everything is exploding right now in Central Oregon. Every time I go for a run, my breath is taken away from all the floral.
Nose continually running.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
But this smells delightful. There's a blackberry-ish tinge there on the nose.
And if you just joined us, because I see there's a lot more people on, we are drinking Hard Truth Sweet Mash Bourbon. That is the first one we're doing a Hard Truth flight today.
That's right.
We want to start with the bourbon, then we're going to get into the ryes, which I love.
I'm crazy about this whiskey off the bat. I really like this.
I feel like I like the sweet mash. We've had a couple sweet mash things. I don't remember. I don't remember what they were. I just always remember liking them.
Well, sweet mash just means that they start each batch from scratch.
But I like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do too. You know who else does that we really like? Wilderness Trail. They do the same thing. Yeah.
That's why it sounds so familiar.
Yeah. They this bourbon is really making me happy. It's interesting about bourbon. A lot of the time I feel like, you can find different flavors from different places. Of course, every distillery has their own stamp on their flavor profile, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes in bourbon, you don't get things that are so unusual that you really recognize just how different they are. And this one stands on its own and stands up flavor-wise. And it's giving me some things that I really appreciate. The sort of brown sugar maple at the same time with the butterscotch back end. The oak in there is lovely. There is a slight spice to it, but it's so gentle and easygoing that the sweetness is really what you get the entire way through the sip. This is if you were new to bourbon, you'd be very, very happy with a sip like this because it's so pleasing right off the bat. But if you have an advanced palate, you would also like it because it has so much to offer.
Well, and I was going to say, I'm so surprised that it's only 90 proof, right? That's what we said, 90 proof. It has a lot of flavors. A lot of times you're not expecting crazy flavors, though there's a bunch of 90 proof stuff that I drink all the time that I love because of the abundance of flavors in here. But this is really chewy too. Yeah. So as I'm sitting here and you were talking about flavors, that brown sugar note was huge for me. All of a sudden I was like, woo, that's a nice sugary note. But it's also like I could sit here and kind of like chew the whiskey a little bit. So it's not like it's not super thin at all, which sometimes you would expect on a lower proof, but this has nice viscosity, I think, for this proof point. Yeah.
And this is a very flavorful, satisfying whiskey at 90 proof. Don't get that all the time. And fantastic. I'm enjoying this so much. Just wanted to say Drifting Dram says that they were in Oregon, but now they're in LA sitting with Big Vic. How about this community?
Nice. It's awesome.
Everybody coming together. Love it.
I think they're in their RV. I bet they're in their, I don't think.
I mean,
bet that they're in their RV
if they went around. From Portland to LA already, they are scooting.
Yeah.
Hard Truth is delicious. Going to be releasing bourbon before long. That's what we're sipping on.
Yep.
Hard Truth bourbon. One of the best 90 proof bourbons I think I've had. Really like this one too. Yeah, Russ, we're on that same page. This is beautiful whiskey, and I always hear how good their rye is.
Yep.
and we've had this bottle. My brother got me this for my birthday last July, and it's from Holiday Liquors, Crown Point, Indiana. I think, is it Crown Point? Cedar Lake. That's right. I knew it started with a C and it was 2 words, and that's close enough. And I liked this one. This actually wound up on our top 10 ryes list last year.
Right. Yeah.
So we're excited to see what they've got going on with these new ryes. But
I kind of forgot what that one tasted like.
If this bourbon is any indication of what we got to look forward to, knowing how much those ryes are celebrated, I'm ready. I'm very excited about this.
It's so funny. We were talking about Sweet Mash, then you remind me of Wilderness Trail, and what makes me think of this is that scientificness of it. Because remember when we were at Wilderness Trail, they have like a whole, I call it the science department, but literally when you do the tour, you like watch the, I'm gonna say they're not scientists. Well, they probably are.
Oh, they absolutely are. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing about Wilderness Trail is that everybody in the industry, that's how they started, right? Was sending them their yeast when they had an issue with it or just trying to improve it in some way or whatever it might have been. And so that's how they actually started as a distillery. And yeah, sweet mash bourbon. This is beautiful. This is fantastic.
There's a little nuttiness now in the nose that's popping up. It's like and sweet berries as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice sugary sweet berries, a little bit of nuttiness. I'm glad we let them sit open for a while. This is my first experience with this. You did taste I
tasted through them a couple days ago just to get them opened up. That was got to taste through them a little bit to open them up. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. And I like it. I like it a ton. And that's the bourbon. I'm going to save this one for a little bit later on. But if everything else is as good as that, man, look at it coat the glass. Yeah,
we did pretty good on that first, like, this is a big pour. And I took down half of it already.
Well, I mean, I made some Julie pours tonight because I figure I'm going to be drinking with Julie. The last thing that I can do, the first thing that I have to do is give her enough whiskey or it'll disappear too quick.
Good point. I know there was a couple shout outs to Mavis, Team Mavis. If you watch our live streams, if you're on,
they're on right now.
I know, but previous ones, and or you're a Patreon and you watch our Patreon live streams, you know that for whatever reason at 5 o'clock, Mavis decides to get a wild hair and she just screams across every surface.
She's all over the place.
So we tempered that by cutting her little fingernails today, or little paw nails. Claws, I guess you would call them.
Yeah, most people call them claws.
But in order to do that, we have to give her favorite treat. And I think that she gets sleepy when she eats it. Like, it's like calories and she wants to take a nap. So she's quietly sleeping over here.
She looks very sad. Oh, she's upside down.
Upside down now. Okay. So, but at any moment, at any time, she could
I don't know how soon.
Jump out.
I don't know when or how soon we'll see her tonight. Yeah. But Coffee Cups asked, you're taking the Julie pour glass next. It says, can you guys do a video on naturally sweet bourbons, 90 proof and up, similar to this bourbon you're all sipping now? Bourbons similar to this one. I can just give you the Cliff's Notes. I think Frey Ranch's 4-grain bourbon, very much like this at 90 proof, super sweet, very easy sipping, and super satisfying. And Evan Williams 1783 to me is one of those very satisfying, richer flavors than you would expect from a 90 proof bourbon. But that one, I understand it's 6 to 8 years aged. I won't be too surprised if we get an age statement on that one soon. Now that Jim Beam Black has got an age statement on it, I think 1783 will be the next one to get one.
I want to talk about 1783 a second.
Because we don't have any on the shelf because you drank it all?
Yeah, because I drank it all. We always talk Desert Island bottles and and I'm not saying this would ever come with me, but it's like great bottle for all. One, it's affordable. It makes a perfect old fashioned.
Makes a great old fashioned, especially if you do a black walnut old fashioned like we like.
It's great as just a everyday sipper. It just checks a lot of boxes. I don't think it gets enough. I'm sure it gets a lot of credit, but I just love it as just our little mixer / if you had a bottle on the shelf, that would handle all of the facets.
And it's ultra affordable.
And
I like cheap. I like things that don't cost much.
Exactly.
Next up, what we're going to be sipping here from Hard Truth Spirits of Indiana. This is High Road Rye, another sweet mash. Does that surprise you?
No.
Straight rye whiskey. And this one,
I'm not the details girl.
I'm barely a human, so you've got me beat no matter what. Aged over 3 years, 93 proof. And again, the bottle is just gorgeous. You know, the one thing that I'm not sure of on this bottle,
Okay.
the cork, the topper, the stopper.
Yes. It looks like a oh, it's actually different, but it kind of looks like the bark of a tree.
Yeah, well,
Like
it has
it's
real
gonna start
texture on there. And I know it's just cork, but every time I go to reach for one of these bottles, I think, am I about to get a splinter?
Oh, I was thinking that maybe it does look a little bit like it's going to start disintegrating.
Yeah.
Like the more you uncork it, the more, and it won't. I mean, we don't know that, but I'm assuming
No, because it's just, I mean, the cork itself
it looks aged.
is, of course, made of real cork, which is very cool. This is just this. You know what this is? This is very much like the Pikesville cork. Pikesville rye has the same texture. But I would never get a splinter from it. But every time I'm reaching for it, I go, be careful. Because I used to work with pallets a lot. Yeah. Not mouth pallets, but like wood pallets. And some of them had this texture, like your pallet that you said.
Oh, what's a mouth pallet? I'm sorry.
You guys ever taste whiskey? All right.
Oh, I was thinking like paint, like designer, anyway.
Oh, paint palettes. Yeah, that's
like
a different thing entirely.
Yeah, like your, color palettes. I don't know if I'd call, I guess it is a mouth palette. Palette is, anyway, we digress.
The cat could not be more bored over there.
I kind of want to take a photo and show you guys because
the cork reminds me of the top of Baby Groot's head. Absolutely, Annie. That makes perfect sense. Julie was showing off the memory game. She's like, riser up to the left over here.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to say this, but if you want to see how entertained Mavis is, that's what she looks like right now. She could not care less about anything that's happening.
Chad says he's a huge mouth palate guy over here.
He's a mouth palate guy. Right. With more t-shirts.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think,
we haven't released a new shirt in a long time. That might have to happen.
Before we get to tasting this one, we've discussed this internally. I feel like I'm at work. We discussed this internally.
You are big on air quotes tonight.
The t-shirts we got from Rusty, one of the things that we said is that Rusty has been really wanting us to make the tacos t-shirt. What was the slogan? And I think this was
have fun wreck tacos.
Have fun wreck tacos. And we haven't done it. And I feel like he was like tired of us waiting on us, and he's like, I'm gonna do it.
Well, I've made multiple designs for it, but I'm not happy with them yet. So that's the reason. I haven't had time to perfect it yet. So let's go in for a sip of the High Road Rye 93 proof from Hard Truth Spirits. Good grief. Hard Truth Distilling Company.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening when you were explaining this one.
Shocking. Drink bourbon wreck tacos. That's okay. So in the video, I said have fun wreck tacos, but drink bourbon wreck tacos.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Maybe that's why I didn't release it. I didn't like the way it looked because it didn't sound right.
Wow, this is like really butterscotchy. See, that's so funny. The first sip of the other one, I could have swore it was maybe like a high rye bourbon.
Yeah.
This one is so butterscotchy on the nose.
It's butterscotch and a lot of tobacco. You know what this reminds me of? Some of those ryes that we've had over the past year that really kind of blew our minds. The what's the one that Marty gave us? John A.P. Connolly from Bogue Sound. Oh. Also Oregon Spirit.
I think we finished that, right? We did on a camping trip.
Yeah, it's all gone.
So sad. That was a sad night. I mean, it was a happy night, but I was kind of sad about it.
Chuck Burrow's on with a pour of Westward Pinot Noir cask. We've been drinking a lot of Westward. Keeps popping up. Keeps showing up in the house.
I didn't mean
I'm always like, where's this coming from?
The Westward?
Yeah, where's all this Westward coming from?
I know we don't have any.
And I'm not going to complain about it.
Drinking it. I didn't mean to cut you off with the if you were talking about the ryes. What it smells like. Tobacco. You said a lot of
tobacco on there. Butterscotch, you're right, some vanilla. This tastes like an American rye whiskey. That's for doggone sure. They say that?
Somebody does.
Oh, cheers.
Wow, that tobacco comes through in the palate. I wasn't getting that on the nose.
That's a brown sugar bomb too.
Ooh,
wow.
It sticks to your roof. Your mouth palate. It sticks to your mouth palate. Gonna ride this train to
where?
To Pizza Town.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Jared, glad it showed up. Glad that you got the number that you wanted. Yeah. We went real random this year.
Did we? Well, yeah. I mean, if you had a number for last year.
Yeah, we kind of stuck around.
We tried
that.
to,
We hung
but
around
then
that.
there was
Yeah.
a lot of empty spaces that I think we just.
Well, people come
didn't
and
do
go
that.
every year, and it gets really
Yeah.
hard to be like, do we grandfather in numbers? It is what it is. But yeah, glad it showed up. Glad you're happy with it. That's great. It's all over my roof palette.
What's the other one we're drinking?
It's a single barrel of the rye, a barrel strength.
Wow. I would be confused that this one was a rye. It's so sweet to me. It's so butterscotch. See, I'm focusing on the rye notes, and then maybe that'll happen in a few more sips.
There's some lemon in here that kind of gives it away, I think.
But it's like there is tobacco. There is a lot of butterscotch in
Yeah.
this, which I normally wouldn't associate with a rye. It's a thinker.
It's a thinker. I can
Delicious,
understand
but,
why
yeah.
it's been getting as much love as it
Yeah.
has. This is really tasty. And the other thing is, there's something unique about their mash bill. 94.6 or 96.4, not quite 95.5. They didn't want to emulate that very popular mash bill from MGP.
Yeah.
They did their own thing, and it works. It's great.
I love the nose. That's good. There is black pepper notes here. So I guess, see, the more I drink it, I think, and this happens to me a lot, where I get that, whatever that initial punch of flavor is that I get or that I want to get is always my first few sips. And then after my palate gets used to it a little bit more. So I did get the tobacco. Now I'm getting a little of like black pepper here.
It's doing that rye
so
dance.
I feel like if this was it's not a blind tasting, but if it was a blind tasting, you
would arrive at the right place.
I would have arrived. Yes. I think I would have arrived at the right place.
There's a let me blow your mind with this one. See if you agree with me here.
Great.
Lime zested watermelon wedges.
Wow.
Closer
Have
to
you
the
ever
rind.
had lime zested watermelon wedges?
No.
It's summertime. Let's give it a
Yeah,
shot.
right.
It is summer solstice today.
Closer to the rind, though. Not super duper sweet on that front tip of the tongue, but enjoying that. That's really complex.
You know, it's really interesting that you say that, because you know how the power of suggestion is a real thing.
That's my superpower.
I mean, I feel like it really is a real thing.
Suggestion man.
Is that you said that, and then I went into smell, and it smells a little bit like watermelon bubblicious. Like there's like a really faint of that watermelon.
But it's not super sweet candy-tastic. It's like watermelon.
It doesn't taste like that,
close to the rind.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all, but it gets a little less sweet over there. Interesting whiskey. I totally understand why this gets so much love. I've said that 4 times now, but I get it. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one. There
was a flavor that just came and gone, so I'm gonna sit on this one a little more. I know that I'm very contemplative of this one.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just more critical of ryes.
Well, you are discerning, no doubt.
I really like this, so I don't want to just come across like I don't like it. I think that I'm just trying to think this one through. Like all the flavors that I wouldn't normally associate with a rye are showing up, and it's making me really happy, because some of the reasons I like drinking certain bourbons are like that sweetness and whatever. This is bringing all of those rye flavors plus the sweetness plus some of the guilty pleasures with the butter. I feel like the butterscotch nose is a bit of a guilty pleasure.
There's nothing guilty about butterscotch.
It's like when you drink Makers and you're like, just drinking butterscotch candies.
Yeah, like Makers
here.
46. Like, well, I'll get my Werther's in liquid form tonight.
Yeah, and so anyway, so I like it. Long story short,
this is delightful. Chad says that's crazy close to my superpower, ingestion man, or when I run during blooming season in Central Oregon, congestion man.
Yeah.
I
like how random our live streams are.
We haven't talked about anything yet, I don't think.
Yeah, that's par for the course. So what I do, if you don't mind, man.
That coat's really nice too. It's distractingly good.
Yeah.
They're both distractingly good.
I will stand behind the fact that this one could get in my head.
Sure.
That it's a bourbon.
The way that it coats,
to me, it
makes me think bourbon.
It's not that punch of rye. You know, a lot of times I'm looking for that punch of rye spice.
Yeah.
It's not really there. Like there's so much sweetness
I am finding it
on
on
this.
here.
Yeah.
I'm finding rye spice on mine, but I think because the bourbon had so much of a rye influence
Yeah,
on it for you that
it-
you're not finding it here. You're definitely
It tripped me up.
you're definitely more in tune with rye than I
Yeah.
am. So you probably noticed it more on the bourbon.
I mean, it makes me happy. I love, I don't.
Well, that's yeah.
This
What
is
more?
if we always talk about people who don't like ryes but want to start getting into ryes
Start somewhere.
because I do like a very strong rye. This seems the perfect lane because there is so much of those like bourbon flavors and sweet flavors, but with just enough of the rye flavors in here that I think that works really well. All cohesive. So that's good. Thanks, Rusty.
EJ wants to know if we've seen the Penelope bottles in Bend yet. They showed up here last week, regular toasted and cask strength. Never seen a bottle of Penelope in Oregon, but I haven't been to the liquor store this week.
I know. I'm sad to say. Are we allowed to be sad to say?
Sure.
That our best bud at the liquor store.
Well, yeah, our friend he moved on, but no, we simply have a lot of whiskey.
Away to Kentucky.
We did win though. We did win something from the state
of
of Oregon.
About this.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about
the
it.
chance to purchase. You sign up and you have a chance to purchase something in the state of Oregon. It's usually limited bottles,
Yeah.
And I knew everybody was going to go fighting for the same 3 bottles of Happy 23. Did I sign up for that one too? Yeah. So
I have a question because I actually don't know. Is this just like an Oregon thing or is it like a countrywide thing where they're like?
No, it's Oregon.
Oregon
State. It's state controlled. It's the OLCC. Oregon Liquor Control.
Okay, so like once a year.
This one was actually twice a year for the first time that I can remember. But yeah,
bottles that you can't get.
Yeah,
they go into a lottery. Anybody,
any state controlled site knows what people that in state controlled areas know what this is about. But I signed up for 5 bottles, including 2 that I thought other people wouldn't go for.
Right. So Phil's strategy, and we're going to throw that out there for next time you guys do this.
Aim for the middle, which is what I've been doing for years.
Which is what I do for all racing.
And for just my life in general.
And the other guys, aim for the bushes.
Yeah, I'm number 5 out of 10. Yeah. Perfect. That's what I want.
But of course, like we put in for the ones that we want. Who wouldn't love to get a Pappy if you get your hands on it?
You put your name on 5
Eagle
of them.
Rare 17.
They do. I think they had like 12 of them, and you put your name on 5.
Yeah.
And so all the BTAC stuff is in there, sure. But the one that we got is the one that nobody in Oregon had ever heard of. I think I probably could have won it 3 times if I wanted to.
You knew about it, and
only because of our 5 sip.
I was a little disappointed that I didn't get it too. But we had tried it on a 5 sip, and that's what tipped us. That's what tipped us off.
Yeah, there's bugs in here. And it was Ben Holiday, Rick House proof bourbon. I'm so stoked to have a bottle of it because that sample we got was so good. It tasted like a combination of all of our favorite things. It was Elijah Craig barrel proof smashed with E.H. Taylor barrel proof.
Yeah.
And it was so good from start to finish. We loved that. The nose, the palate, the finish, everything about it was so good. And now we get our own bottle of it. And I might just go out in the street and taunt other Oregonians and just be like, look what I got. See what happened. They'll be like, who cares? What is that?
Nobody knows what it is.
We don't know anything about Missouri. And I go, it's your loss.
Well, what was funny is we were at, it was my race. Gosh, is it 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago now, but we were at Packet Pickup for my race. And the people that were like, not the people that we were talking about, but there was other like volunteers.
Yeah.
And they were like, did you sign up? Whatever. And they were whispering behind the scenes and I heard them say something about bourbon. So of course, like my ears like popped in, right?
Yeah, I was the guy. I was creeping around the corner. Like I stuck my head in.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys talking about?
I know. And then nonchalantly he asked, like, what did you guys put in? And of course they put in for all of the things, right? Like they put in for, which of course, I'd love a Eagle Rare 17 or whatever.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Thank you, Whiskey Punker.
God knows I need it.
Yeah. And then Phil gave him the little like, you should.
I was like, hey,
you want that stuff too, but if you want to actually have a chance,
aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes. If you've seen that movie, you get the reference. If you haven't, I can't help you with that. Still see the movie.
I won the same thing as the last 3 times. Yeah, EJ, nothing. Yeah.
I never win. I would never win anything either. I always sign up. I was like so stoked though.
Yeah. By the way, thank you, Russ. Julie did crush her race. She was awesome. So proud of her. And the video for that, if I get it done,
Monday
comes out Monday. Yeah.
Let's put some pressure on them because I want to see it.
Here's the thing. Work has been crazy lately. And this weekend, I have to run a half marathon.
Yeah.
And so do you.
Yeah.
Because you're training for a marathon now. And then I have to run a full marathon.
Yeah.
That doesn't leave a lot of time for editing.
I know, but I'm not good at that thing.
At
The
what
editing.
thing? The
The editing thing.
No.
I'm more of the talker.
Well, you're really good at watching.
I'm great at watching.
And then saying, I don't think I
No,
like
no,
that.
no. Exactly. I'm really good at
But
being
Julie,
critical.
Julie did great on her 50K race. So hopefully,
Spoiler alert.
if I do everything right over the next 5 days,
Yeah.
4 days, we're gonna have a video on Monday morning.
Yeah, we gave an update to our Patreons, but spoiler alert, I finished the race.
Yeah.
Better than I expected.
What number were you overall? Do you remember?
I was I think there were some adjustments at the end because I think people dropped. Not me. I
No,
didn't drop.
you dropped and rolled at mile 28.
Yeah, that was my own fault.
Yeah.
That actually was one of the most funny moments that I've had of all.
Imagine
training.
crashing at mile 28 and getting up and
For
be
no
like,
reason.
I'm okay.
It was no reason. I was like, but I should probably
Crazy.
start over. But I finished the race. I was 108. No. 118. I don't really remember. I should remember this. This feels important, but
It's not.
out of 120 or out of 220.
Yeah.
So my
Aim
goal,
for the middle.
So my goal, as I said, is to always be in the 50%. If you can be either above or below, I don't really care. I just don't want to come like
Within reason.
I don't want to be like last.
Well, 108 in the race, number 1 in our hearts. We're all so proud
Thank
of
you.
you. Fantastic job. And hey, are you ready to sip something else? I've already grabbed another whiskey.
Yeah. Do you want? Am I allowed to tell the bushes story or the falling story,
Yeah, tell them.
which I've told our patrons
we're-
know, and I doubt it's going to be in the video.
We got to fill another 23 minutes. Tell them something. Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
should we try this? What are we drinking?
You're
gotta
still
talk
drinking the
about it
same thing,
first.
the rye. You haven't changed out
Oh.
your glass yet.
Shoot. Oh no, I want. That's right. I want to drink them side by side.
Well, I'm just leaving them. I'm leaving them in order. But yeah, I see
Do you
what
know
you're saying.
what's why we only do live streams like once a month? I mean, but I feel like it's good to only do them once a month because we got so
Yeah.
much energy. when we come
Right. If
in.
we did these weekly, we would just
I'd be
stare at
like,
each other and
I
be
don't
like, "What do you
know.
think?
We're still drinking.
Is it time to order pizza yet?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still drinking. All right, let's talk about this last one.
We're
and then I'll
ready.
tell you my
All right. So this one
Favorite
is
story.
dark green with gold accents, and the gold accents are metallic in nature, which makes you think that it's going to be special.
Yeah.
And why shouldn't it be? Okay. Hard Truth Distilling Company out of Indiana,
hey,
Brown
shocking.
County, Indiana. I want to keep on putting that out there because
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think the Indiana whiskey resurgence has been something else.
The color is beautiful, by the way. We haven't mentioned color on any of these, but they're really nice.
This is the Sweet Mash Rye, straight rye whiskey, barrel strength, uncut and unfiltered. Mash bill RW1, 115.8 proof. This is Rack House 2, batch number 8. 30 barrels, dumped on 7/19/2023. How about that?
The noses are wildly different from the two ryes.
How about this? They actually give some notes on this one, so we can see if we get it. Our distiller's select blend of straight rye whiskey, aged perfectly to extract notes of brown sugar, orchard fruit, and peppercorn from new charred American white oak barrels. Aged over 2 years, so could be even younger. This one, Interesting. Sweet Mash Pioneers. I like that. You put that, you get like that tattoo. Sweet Mash Pioneers with like a wagon,
I'm not going to do that.
like a Conestoga
Yeah.
wagon.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No,
Somebody can.
somebody. If you do that,
Send us a photo.
yeah, tag us on Instagram.
Don't do it, though.
You probably shouldn't do that.
You probably shouldn't do that.
Taking the Pony Express
You should-
on the Oregon Trail straight to your mouth palate.
Yeah, to your mouth palate.
That'd be the worst T-shirt.
Smell the other one in comparison to this. They're so crazy different. No,
The rye, by the way, that tobacco ultimately was
Oh.
the thing that I found so satisfying on it. It was great.
I know
Yeah,
people
this
have
is just
reviewed
bigger.
this.
This is just bigger in every way.
Yeah, I know people have reviewed this. What is the consensus of the winner? Like, do people give it a winner? Like,
The
I
thing
like
you hear the
one over
most
the
about
other?
is their rye. You hear a lot of love for their
Okay.
rye.
This has a cidery nose to me. A little apple. A lot of oak.
JG says, "Whoops, I already have that tattoo." It's a little bit menthol.
Mm.
Wow, not nearly as sweet.
No, that's why I said you smelling this one and then smelling this one. That makes this feel less like a rye. Like this definitely has more spices.
Tobacco's underneath though. It's
Mhm.
coming through. You
And
can tell this
pepper.
is of the same family. Yeah.
Yeah, pepper notes.
Hang on, Whiskey Punker gave us a radio challenge here. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at the Rosemont Horizon. The face-melting tunes of Sweet Mash Pioneers.
Hey, that
How about
was
that,
really
right?
nice.
Pretty good.
Also,
I could be on Q101.
Rosemont Horizon. It hasn't been named that in like
Yeah, that's old.
15
That's
years,
an old school reference.
20 years maybe. So that is
Man,
legit
we went to a lot
Illinois.
of we went to some shows there.
Yeah,
We went to a lot
legit
of stuff.
Illinois because it's been.
Man.
Is that the Allstate Arena now?
That might be right.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Well, it was when we left 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably been renamed by
5 or 6 times now. Like the World
Citibank,
like the World Amphitheater. Every time we drove past it, it had a different logo, and I was like, "What?
Yeah,
How am I supposed to remember that?"
advertising.
Man, that tobacco.
All right, let's try it. Sorry.
I'd like to try it too.
Okay. Whenever I see Whiskey Punkard, for whatever reason, I just picture. Wow, this is good. Sorry, I
took way too big of a sip.
The lead singer of Bad Religion. I don't know what he looks like.
Greg Graffin?
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like. I know he does like.
You don't know what Whiskey Punkard looks like.
No, Whiskey Punkard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't. But I know he likes punk rock, and for whatever reason, it's not like Greg Graffin's from Illinois, but
No.
for what I feel like that's what he looks like.
Wisconsin.
Is that where he's from?
I think so.
He's also like a doctor.
In
Like
his, I read,
not like a
I
medical
read his
doctor, but
his biography last year, autobiography, and I don't remember that much from it.
I like this.
This is nice. Do you want to give some tasting notes?
Can I just say it makes me happy?
It's a great tasting note. That might be the best tasting note.
It took me a bit by surprise. The nose was a little. This happens a lot with rye, where you're just like, meh. I think because like bourbons are so fruity and sugary and like sometimes florally.
Yeah.
Ryes don't have that aroma
Yeah.
to them really, because they are meant to be a little bit more savory, I guess, versus sweet. And so then you never know what to expect until you drink it.
This is one of those whiskeys. Let me tell you where this takes me to, because it's going to take me a minute to get through this.
Oh, it's warm too. I mean,
It is
not
warm.
but like
I
nice
mean,
heat.
yeah, proofy. This is a whiskey where you taste it and you go, "That's black licorice," and then you're like, "No, anise."
Mm-hmm.
Like say, get it
Like the
right.
spice.
Like it's a real.
We have been watching a lot of cookie
It's not
shows.
overly sweet, so it's not sugary like a licorice. It's straight up anise, and this is a whiskey that if you're back to back with Ray Liotta, Bad Part of Town, right? And you're in a pool hall,
R.I.P.
and
Yeah.
you're in a pool hall, and it's dicey in there,
Mm-hmm.
and Ray Liotta gives you a look. You go back to back with him. You have to fight your way out.
Ray Liotta's on your team.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Oh, great.
You don't want to be not on
Yeah,
his team.
you don't want. Yeah.
And you fight your way out. That's this whiskey. There's an intensity. There is an authenticity that it really just it takes me someplace.
Do you know what makes me so happy about this this conversation we're having right now?
People going out windows, pool cues breaking over knees.
Well, I just keep thinking like we don't have a huge following. Like in
is
terms
this why?
of like,
Is it? It's me.
Is it in terms of like the YouTube whatever? But people who follow us are like hardcore fans, and I think it's because we talk about really random nonsense like this. Like most people are like, just get to the whiskey,
It's important
and we're
to me.
like, let's talk Ray Liotta for 5 minutes. Kind of like the Michael Keaton video.
Do you know what else I deserve? Hang on. That takes me to my next topic. I was listening to a podcast the other day. It's Dana Carvey and David Spade have a podcast where they interview other comedians.
Yeah.
And I was out for a long run, and I was like, I need something new to listen to, and I came across that. So I listened to a few of the episodes. One of them was Jim Gaffigan, who apparently has his own bourbon. And I was like, could we get Jim Gaffigan? Could we get him on the show?
No.
So if anybody knows Jim Gaffigan,
What
does he have going on?
family.
All he's doing is just constantly releasing.
He's got like 9 kids.
Yeah, he's won like 8 Grammys too. Like he doesn't need us. But what if he did?
I feel like he's like really busy with his. I feel like he's, and I'm not like
His Wikipedia
I'm not
page, I think
being
it says
like-
he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with 8 children.
I know I was gonna say I'm not like being like, oh, he's got a lot of kids, so it must be like 9. He really has like 9 kids.
Yeah, no.
So anyway,
Thank you very much. We are very well. We were big fans when we picked it. We're going to find out in just a little bit here if we still
If we
like
still
it.
are.
And there's 15 bottles left. Go to the direct description of this
Yeah.
video and get yours because they're going quick. It is flat rate shipping, so order 3 or 4 of them, and you don't have to pay any more for shipping.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. I wish we had more in the store.
If you order
for
3 or 4 of them, send us a photo. Tag us on Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably order any bottle on Shareport, right?
There's actually they have a Overholt, which I'm very interested in. So
a Overholt?
yeah, it's just some new Overholt. There's like 3 new
Like
Overholt
different than
bottles.
like Overholt, old Overholt?
Same guy,
Oh, okay.
different bottle.
Like there's old Overholt. God, that still is so
Still
hard to
bothers you.
say.
You're still
And then now there's a Overholt. So is it like Aunt Overholt and Grandpa Overholt?
No.
Oh, what's A? Why is it a Overholt?
A
Or is it like
probably
that's an
Abraham.
adjective? Like
I'm guessing it's Abraham Overholt.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I know is that they have that there, and you can get that there. So go get it.
Yeah.
They also had Old Bones and Not Quite Old Bones, or whatever they call that one.
Backbone.
Too. Yeah.
Did I learn something today? It was Backbone, right?
You're never gonna remember it, but you did it.
I only need to remember it until the end of this live stream.
Yeah, you got 13 and a half minutes. Ray Liotta's the new best tasting note. Thank you. Proud of that one. And yeah,
Ray
Count it.
Liotta could be. It's like brash.
I just poured this too. Then I went ahead and kicked a hole in the door.
Wait, who said that?
Russ.
Oh. Well, I was gonna say, like, it could be like it's brash, it's bold, it's like aggressive, it's take charge, it's I'm thinking mob movies,
Yeah.
what that makes you,
Yeah.
So it could be Ray Liotta could be a great. We're just gonna make that a thing, kind of
That's a
like
thing.
Gunderstruck.
Yeah. What actor or actress does this movie remind, or does this whiskey remind you of? Ray Liotta.
But you can't just willy-nilly throw Ray Liotta. It's got to be really.
If we ever come up with a Bing Crosby, just throw the bottle away.
Well, that could be Christmassy.
Yeah.
Like, what if it was like?
But it could also taste like mothballs.
Yeah.
That wardrobe just doesn't seem like it was
true. Good point. Okay, great.
As much as I love Bing Crosby, don't get me wrong.
We haven't lost anybody. I keep watching. I was like, oh, at some point everyone's
We
gonna
lost a
start
couple.
logging
We
out.
lost a couple.
Start logging out, and everyone's sticking strong to us. I appreciate that.
JG says Jim Gaffigan whiskey has barely any info. Looks way overpriced. All I know about it is, and I never looked it up after I heard the podcast. All I know about it is that he called up a friend that he went to college with who lived in Louisville and said, I want to bottle my own barrel of whiskey.
Mhm.
And the guy was like, yeah, I can do that for you. We can find somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know who we wound up going with or what the whiskey where the whiskey came from. He was very coy about it on the podcast, which made me think,
Well, so celebrity whiskeys, meh. I mean, I can't really say that we do barrel picks, right? So is it the kind of the same as? I mean, we're not celebrities, obviously, but like,
no.
but like we're just picking a bottle that already exists and what we want, right? But most of them don't live up to the hype. Except for,
No.
I feel like Bob Dylan gets a pass. One, because I just love his music
Heaven's
so much.
Door has had a lot of ups
But
and quite a few
we've
downs.
had a couple like wah-wah-wahs.
Yeah, the Decades bourbon for me was a mess.
But he's in that. Like he's not just like, I'm picking one bottle. Like he is involved.
He's a part of it.
I mean,
sure. Yeah.
I'm more air quotes involved. He's got a lot going on. And how old do you think he is now? 80s?
Bob Dylan, he's 132.
Could be. He could just be his ghost out there playing with the band.
He's been a 3D AI model for the last 10
Maybe.
years. A Overholt Monongahela mash. Somebody said Mongolian
Did
mash.
somebody say Abraham?
Alvin.
Of course it is. Oh.
James Gaffigan and the Bourbon Van would be an awesome duo show. Somebody reach out to him. Tell him we're looking for him. Old Overholt equals Abraham Overholt. See, there you go. Okay. Thus over. I got that.
Oh, there's a tea note. Whoa. There's an Earl Grey tea note in this whiskey that I just wafted out of the glass into my.
So now that's a different celebrity.
What?
Earl Grey.
Oh.
Well, I actually don't know where that name came
That's
from. It could be
tea, so I don't know. We don't have to celebritize the stuff.
EJ keeps getting Bobcat Goldthwait tasting note bourbons.
Oh, what was that? He had that crazy voice, right? From Ghostbusters?
Yeah, he was the guy from what's the Christmas movie? With Bill Murray.
Oh, Scrooge.
Yes,
of course. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite role for him because he was just as insane as his voice was.
Yeah, I feel like there was many mania, which is another one of my favorite terms.
I love how every once in a while they slip back into like 1930s.
Many articles about how Bill Murray and him didn't get along very well.
Bobcat and Bill Murray didn't
Yeah.
get along? No, Bobcat didn't get along with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, I think, is one of the least favorite people on earth.
Oh, maybe
for
it
him.
was Seinfeld then.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I digress.
Whiskey Highway. Celebrity just collecting dust near them, too. I don't know that one.
Ooh. So
I'm only here because of your Star Power. When do I get an autograph? Star Power, yeah, from the Bourbon Band. Welcome to the Power Hour, the Star Power Hour.
you will get negative 25 cents every time we sign something of yours. You actually lose money when we sign it.
Right.
I'll
give you $1 to take my autograph off my hands.
Your priceless collection has now cost you money.
People will come to your house and take your bottles of bourbon and be like, you obviously don't deserve these.
Yeah.
Ooh, is this good?
You talked about
Sheesh.
anise, however you say it. You hear it different on cooking shows, so I actually don't care how you say it.
Right. We heard Gordon Ramsay the other day on an episode on season 6 of MasterChef. We're about
Don't
20
tell
years
us.
behind. No
We're
spoilers.
we're only 9 at this point. But
He
yeah.
said basil, and then he said,
Well, basil is what.
but he said it differently the next time. He said basil, and then he said basil. He said
Yeah.
it 2 different ways, and I was like, "Come on, man, be consistent if you're going to say
maybe
it
he's
weird."
Scottish because he's Scottish.
Yeah,
But he
I
is
know.
a UK.
You know, I love Gordon Ramsay. Though. Do you think he would do this show?
No,
I wouldn't either if I were him.
he's got so much money.
It's
and-
not about
and he
money.
Just got hit by a car.
It's not about money. It's
so-
about passion.
I don't think he's passionate about bourbon,
He's just passionate in general.
but not
Good
about
enough.
bourbon. Do you think?
I think that would carry over.
Maybe he's a bourbon drinker. He probably would be. It
He's
feels-
probably a Scotch drinker. I would
Yes,
hope so.
he feels like he would be a Scotch drinker. That,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know how we got on that. Oh, signatures, right?
Everybody wants to know
Okay.
that when you tasted your least favorite whiskey of all time, what celebrity would that be?
Oh boy, was it the one from the Evan tournament?
Yeah,
Did Teresa give that to me? I can't remember.
might have been Teresa. Yeah,
Um.
it wasn't personal. She didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with the person that gave it. I was just trying to recollect. It was the Reno one.
The
Awful.
biggest little whiskey in Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
awful. I know.
least favorite celebrity.
I don't really follow.
Top 5 celebrities that you would tie their shoelaces together if you got the opportunity while they were sitting at a table just to see if they'd fall down.
I don't know. I was talking hall passes yesterday with 2 of my best friends.
Oh boy, here we go.
So that's the opposite of what you're talking about. And
And
I think my hall passes.
Teresa says it was her. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
she was claiming responsibility, which is a very bold and brave thing to do.
bold thing to do.
Congratulations, yes.
No, well, I'm glad she didn't like it either, because I was like, oh gosh, I hope I hope they didn't like this. I'd have to think about it. I don't really.
Kim Kardashian, Pauly Shore.
Oh, well, I can't hate Pauly Shore because one of my favorite movies growing up was. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. What was the name of that movie?
It was Down on the Farm or something, wasn't it?
You guys are gonna love this. It was basically because I couldn't wait to get out of my hometown and I wanted to leave.
Well, there was that.
Which is, I think, why I love this
Son-in-law.
movie. Son-in-law, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Whiskey Punker nailed it.
Thank you. I couldn't wait, and everything seemed so shiny on the West Coast. I just could not wait to just
Certainly
put my
seemed that way.
rollerblades on and go to college somewhere
Oh
else.
man, how much did we
Didn't
used
do
to
that, but-
rollerblade until they got stolen out of your car?
So random.
Of all the things for somebody to take, can you imagine somebody steals them? They're like, "This is dope. I'm gonna
What?
look great in these."
What was really crazy about it is that we were living in Chicago at the time, and I was very particular. The car was clean. There was no coins in it. There was no paper in it. There was nothing in it, right? So if you peek in the window, nothing. And I had a Nissan at the time, and I had rollerblades that I had never worn.
All these details are critical.
Rollerblades that I had never worn, and I just chucked them in the trunk. You couldn't see them because it wasn't like
They were in the
it
trunk.
wasn't like we have a crossover or
It
whatever.
was a sedan.
Yeah, it was a sedan, so you didn't know anything was trunk. But yet they
You
broke.
guys riveted. There's so many
They
details.
broke into it. The only thing they could take was those darn rollerblades, which is fine. I
They
didn't.
weren't even visible.
Yeah,
Like they were like somebody just walked past and knew. They're like,
It wasn't like
"There's
there was,
something cool in that trunk."
There has to be something cool in this Nissan 1998 Nissan.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal me these fruit boots.
Yeah, and you didn't have my CDs. You know, like you used to carry around your album full of CDs. That wasn't even in the car.
Yeah, remember when that was a flex? Like people would like get in your car and open the CD book.
Yeah.
And now that you're like, no, Spotify takes care of it for me. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Don't even touch it.
Yeah.
I got this.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Pauly Shore. Least liked celebrities.
Yeah, I got some love for Pauly Shore.
God, I don't remember how we got onto the subject. I feel like there was something I was supposed to do.
You were supposed to pick a celebrity for that whiskey that was so bad.
Yeah.
Least favorite celebrity. Come on. You have one in mind.
Oh, I was talking about hall passes too. I didn't even tell you.
Was that a Pauly Shore?
No. God.
Paul Shore, as if that was his name.
He's awful.
Mr. Paul Shore. That's not a celebrity I want to know.
I don't know if there's anybody that I'm like.
You're just ambivalent. You don't despise.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that I like, and then everybody else is just.
Who do you like? Michael Keaton. Is that one of your hall passes?
No. So my girlfriend texted the other day and said, "I finally watched The Fall Guy."
Oh, with
Ryan Gosling, and she goes, "I don't understand how you could be so good looking and so funny." And then she talks about hall passes, and I made the comment about like definitely a hall pass, and it makes sense that he's married to Eva Mendes, which is one of your hall passes.
Is it?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll
love
take
her. I go because she's hilarious and probably the most gorgeous person I've ever seen. And
Do you think we could get Eva Mendes on the show?
Well, and I said I would count her as a second hall pass. We got a female hall pass, like the whole pair. Like, let's do it. I mean,
the fact that you were talking about The Fall Guy and you didn't say Lee Majors actually took me a solid like 30 seconds to come to terms with. It took a long time for me to come to terms with that.
Yeah, because
that's my whole childhood. When we get a Lee Majors whiskey, we're really gonna have something special.
Yeah, but Eva Mendes, you haven't seen her in a while.
Blaupunk stereo in the
This
trunk.
is all full circle because we were talking about Aim for the Bushes, the other guy, and that was like
the other guys,
whatever.
It's a different movie. Guys.
And Eva Mendes is in there, and she's so hilarious.
Rusty wants to know if we got any lemongrass on the Hard Truth Sweet Batch Rye, and I got a little bit of lemon and just a tiny bit of grass, but not lemongrass, as I would say.
Yeah. I just said sorry.
Okay, quickly, I think we should revisit each one of these glasses in short order, succession.
Okay.
To see which one of these we like best.
Okay.
Because I'd like to pick a favorite tonight.
Would you buy them all? Would you say like they're good? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I would definitely not hide from any of these.
Smell. Yours are. Oh, you're
outside
so weird. Yeah. Okay. So go that one. Cut grass on that for some reason after drinking that rye.
It definitely reminds me of like standing outside in summertime.
Yeah.
Maybe not cut grass, but like there's like a cement mixer, like concrete, like when concrete gets super hot.
Oh, it's like a little powdery.
Yeah, a little bit of like stony. Ooh.
Can I venturous?
That rye continues to open up and get awesome. I looked like I was giving him a thumbs down, but it's a thumbs up.
Yeah. Can I add a vent to our live stream?
You're gonna vent?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just drink.
Yeah. Our neighbor across the alley decided to get I don't know what it is. Because I've seen smokers before, like Traegers or whatever. Yeah. They don't look like what this guy's got.
No, this looks like something for burning.
It looks like you're on the dock and you're burning like oils or something.
That's a cremation oven, if I've ever seen one. A cremation oven.
And we're not 100% sure, but 2 days ago they decided, which let's be fair, like 300% sure that it's an Airbnb, but they got some sort of smoker. And instead of pointing it towards their property, they pointed it like into the alley. And our property lines were like this far apart, like literally like this far apart.
It goes straight in the windows.
So we can't even sit in the backyard anymore.
No, we can't sit in the backyard. I've had to close the windows.
Up the door.
And don't get me wrong, I love the smell of smoked meat. I love smoked meat myself.
It just smells like.
But but we're in such close quarters here. It would be like having like.
The poor guy next door to us, it's literally like blowing.
It's going straight into his window. Yeah.
And like we're like offset a little bit.
We're lucky.
we have enough.
But you can't go out there because it's such a haze because it hasn't been windy at all. So like you walk outside and you're like, oh, cool. There's a half pack of cigarettes down my lungs. Just
totally.
like that.
I felt like it was like I took an ashtray, just like ate like all of the things, and was a little annoyed because we're in Oregon and there's forest fires basically for 2 months out of the year, like forest fire smoke.
Right.
And I was like, why do we got to do it in June?
It's the one season, the 1 month where it's warm.
If it could make it smell like our Broken Top Bottle Shop where they're smoking chicken, and I get at least smoked chicken effect, but it's not. It's just
this guy. And honestly, most of the day yesterday, it just smelled like plastic, and I was like, this guy has no idea what he's doing.
I'm a little sad about it.
Yeah. Can I ask him nicely to point it that way? Not point it that. Yeah, I mean, we probably could, but I honestly think that it's some Airbnb guest that just showed up with their own smoker. That's what's so strange about it.
It could be. That would be hilarious, actually.
Bruce Willoughby, I want to throw this out there because I'm ready to. Loves your haircut, of course.
Thank you.
And ready for us to plan another trip. Loved every minute of it. And man, that was the most fun we've had with this channel. Times 1,000.
I do want to take a moment to thank you guys for watching our closing video. Yeah. So it was very long. It was almost 30. What was it? 25 minutes or something?
34 minutes.
34 minutes. And I remember recording it. I think we had recorded about 45 minutes of footage.
It was 54 minutes.
Okay, 54
I'm going to correct
minutes.
You just because it was a lot to.
It was like we got done. I was like, oh, that's going to be a long one. And I remember Phil and I talking about how we should just cut out like any of the lull, I guess. Mm-hmm. I said, just leave it in. If people want to watch it and they want to hear about the entire wrap up, they'll watch it or they'll skip to where they need to.
Everything
don't spend a lot of time trying to get to it like 15 minutes.
Everything I left in was something that to me was important.
Yeah.
It was valuable information.
And this goes back to what I said earlier about like the people that like to watch our channel, like to watch our channel. They show up every Friday. They come to all the live streams, or like you guys are super involved, and that's why we love our community. But
that, and you are so good looking. 100%.
So good looking. But I just wanted to say like that was one of our best performing, nothing to do with whiskey.
It was,
we did
second best video of the entire year.
Yeah. It did have to do because we did label it like our best whiskey so far. But
it had a lot to do with whiskey.
But if you had been watching, like you knew kind of what was coming, right? Like you knew what the bottles were that we were going to show. But people watched for a very long time. That was a long video for people to pay attention.
Longest average view time for any video that we've ever had. That was a big deal for us.
And so
it's because of the star power.
Yeah. And so I was very appreciative. We know it's just because Mavis was in the video.
She was in there.
She made some really cute appearances. But look at her.
Open both eyes. Are you winking at us?
I think she's got a sleepy eyes.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. She's okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for watching that because
that was the long way to say it.
Yeah. It was just really.
Which celebrity
do you want to attach to this one thing? Anyway, all right.
Do you have a favorite? Because I do. I'm actually shocked by my favorite.
Okay, go for it. Because I haven't drank any of these yet.
A lot of times with a craft distillery, which I think it's safe to say, this is a craft distillery. The rye is what stands out to me because I think it's easier to showcase rye as a grain without aging it so much, and it can be unique without being overpowering. And I usually go rye. I'm going for one of the first times ever on a distillery tasting. I'm going bourbon on this one, and I'm shocked by how much I'm enjoying this bourbon. At 90 proof, I'm not a proof hound, but I usually associate higher proof with higher flavor, with higher viscosity, like we talked about earlier. This is a very viscous whiskey. This bourbon is phenomenal, and at 90 proof, I could see this being a daily drinker. I heard that burp. A daily drinker, certainly, but this is fantastic. I think it's great. I would share this with friends. I would share it with myself. I would, I would share it with Ray Liotta if he were around. I would certainly share it with Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton, who still hasn't returned our calls.
I love Michael Keaton. I do.
JG says he asked 10 people if they know me, they know us, and one said maybe. So you're on your way. My brother, he was in DC, and he said he was having a meeting with a bunch of. He's a big tech guy. And he was having a meeting with a bunch of important government people. Yeah. And I messaged him and I was like, hey man, what's going on? I heard your mom told me you're in DC. And he goes, oh yeah, I'm doing this and this and this. And I'm with these important people. And I said, tell him I said hi.
Tell him the Bourbon Man says hi.
And he goes, I told him you said hi. And then none of them had heard of you. One person said he likes bourbon, and he said he still hadn't heard of you. And I was like, you weren't supposed to actually tell him I said
He didn't
hi.
really say that. He
That's what
didn't
he
really.
said.
Oh boy.
So yeah, there you go. He's a big shot, running the country, has a similar sense of humor. So good for him. We're on our way. We're doing great as a people.
Yeah, makes sense.
The oak on this bourbon. Everything about the bourbon. I'm choosing the bourbon. That's my favorite.
That's interesting.
In other words, feels wrong.
You're not wrong. I liked it. I like the rice better for sure.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. I find this goes
There's
back.
a long sigh there. What are we in for here?
Well, it reminds me of the Advent tournament
Sure.
where you really get into the weeds about personal preference versus what's right. You know, like it's a real struggle, right?
Palate woman strikes again.
Mouth palate woman.
Mouth palate woman strikes again.
This rye here in the middle, which one ever? It's the High Road rye.
Yeah.
That butterscotch note.
Yeah, that 93 proof is for real. Here it comes.
Oh, she gains an appearance. Oh, good stretch, baby.
Come here,
Don't put your
Nugget.
butt though in there.
Come on, baby.
This is what everyone's been waiting for.
You're such a girl.
I know, baby. I know.
Keep telling the people things.
Anyway.
Do your burp again.
I like that for you. Yes. Thank you,
I
Rusty.
love that for you.
Yeah. So the middle one is very butterscotchy, very sweet. There's a few hints of rye in there. I'd very much be confused that this was a rye.
Yeah.
Still, even knowing.
I'm going to revisit it.
Especially knowing that it's a rye. I seem like I try to dig in a little bit deeper on that. It reminds me of, this reminds me of Makers. Like that butterscotchy,
but this has got that
sweet viscousness of it.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the rye grain comes from the Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina area, because every time we taste a rye that comes from those areas, it has that super tobacco butterscotch, rich flavor to the grain itself. Oregon Spirit uses it. John A.P. Connolly uses it. Or Bogue Sound Distilling. It's a great flavor. It really, really is. That's why I'm so surprised that I'm going bourbon here.
Yeah, and I only say Makers because that's a familiar brand.
Sure.
Anybody and everybody knows.
You know that butterscotch flavor.
Yeah, and if you've had it, you know the butterscotch note.
Richie, I love Pikesville. That's always on the shelf, 100%, all the time, right here, forever.
This one here, the other rye.
This is the bourbon. Oh no, you went the other way. You're going the other way. Yep.
So my other, I was like, I don't think so. So
she's right.
This other rye for me is just a more experienced rye. And I'm not talking in terms of like what Hard Truth is doing. I'm talking about like palate-wise, right? Like this is your intro to rye, and it's like we're gonna kind of put our claws into you. It's got all that sweetness. If you're not somebody who likes sweetness, you probably would not fare well with this one because it is very sweet to me. But this one has all the notes that I love. Like we've got a little bit of pepper, we've got the rye spices, the lemon, the citrus, the
ton of leather
oak.
On this now all of a sudden that I didn't get before.
Like all of those notes, and I really, really like that. And so from and it's a little bit proofier too, which
that always helps. Yeah.
I like things that are 90, 94, 100, whatever, but there's a reason things are at barrel strength.
Flavors enhanced at barrel strength. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if I was going to do it, I'd probably say if I'd go away from, this could be too much to have a couple drinks of because it's very sweet.
Could be.
But I would go the second rye, so the 115.
The cask, the barrel strength one.
Yeah, the barrel strength. And then I would go the High Road rye. And then the bourbon was my third because I just like the rye better, which is the opposite of what you're saying.
I'm worried about the cat. She's over here she's messing with all my stuff. Okay, there she goes.
Yeah. So kind of opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah. Opposites attract.
Paul Abdul said that. 1989.
Speaking of celebrities.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Lau, last thing we have to sip tonight because okay. Give
Are
me
you?
your
Yeah. Okay.
before we do that. Final thoughts on Hard Truth Distilling Company out of Indiana.
I think I'm pumped at what they're doing.
Agreed.
So we don't really. Do we get this here?
No.
Okay. So we don't get Hard Truth here, but it has been kind of talked about in.
We hear it.
in
We hear about it all the
circles and
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited that we got to try these.
Yep.
Obviously, we don't have to say anything nice about them.
We don't have to.
I'm very honest with my reviews. You can tell on my face when I like or don't like. I liked all three of them. Thank you. I liked all three. It's the haircut. But I liked all three of them. The Rise to me feel head and shoulders over the Bourbon.
And like I said, for me, it's a big surprise for me that I'm going Bourbon on this, but I really am. I'm in love with this Bourbon. I think it's great. I could see this being a bottle that I revisit a lot this summer. I like drinking in the summertime. What can I say?
I do too. Well, I don't really.
So there you go. A big thank you to Hard Truth. That's fantastic whiskey. They did a great job producing all of these. Now we are going to take these out of the way because the last thing that we're going to sip tonight is our barrel pick from Whiskey Del Bach in Tucson, Arizona, of which at the beginning of this stream, there were 15 bottles left. I have no idea how many are left. You guys tell me, or don't. We'll find out.
Are you having a good time, by the way?
Me, I'm having a great time.
Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah. Is it fun?
I'm having a great time tonight. So I do try to take the tasting seriously, even though we make a lot of jokes and go off topic a lot. So I'm glad that
I haven't made a single joke. I've been serious all night. I haven't said anything that wasn't heartfelt and honest. All right. Last sip is our barrel pick, of course.
It smells good too.
Oh, that smells delightful.
Thank you for asking, Kathy.
Well, Russ was going to ask, but he said, let me pump the brakes. So he said, we got one more thing to sip here.
Oh, how did okay, you can just make an appearance. No, the butt's not the... Yeah.
She's going to bite the computer.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. On to this last sip. The smell of it is delightful. Very lightly mesquite smoked, which is something that we discovered we love on the Southwest trip this year. Yes, it does have the mesquite vibe. It has, there were multiple ones that we tasted that were very heavily mesquited. This one is very gently mesquited. So it is smoked. They do a lot of things that are not smoked there. This one is like 25 or 30% of the barley used is smoked with mesquite. So very gentle, but a great introduction to the style.
And if you watched our end of road trip, we should circle back to that. But if we watched our end of road trip video, you'll know that we picked up 4 bottles of Del Bach or Whiskey Del Bach.
Yeah.
On our travels each season, and then 2 of, or actually 5.
We bought 2 in December, and then when we went there, we bought 4 bottles, and then we selected a single barrel too. Safe to say, we really like what Whiskey Del Bach is doing. Also, a happy retirement to Two Row the cat. Whiskey Del Bach, Two Row is in retirement now. She's no longer in the distillery every day as she was, and well earned, if anything. Totally. She was a hard worker.
Who isn't ready for retirement?
I know you are. Two Row with a well-deserved retirement. So here's to Two Row.
Yay, Two Row!
Oh, this smells like gently smoked chocolate.
Okay, so my palate's going to have to do a little bit of a rearrangement.
Your mouth palate?
My mouth palate's going to have to rearrange itself. That was so different than the 3 things that we just tasted. I'm going to have to recalibrate. I also want to show off. Stupid. I'm trying to.
You went.
I know, but I'm trying to not get the glare. Oh, you can't see it. Anyway, I just wanted to show off our new.
Get right in front of the camera there.
If you followed us on the road trip, you knew we were in the Southwest, and one of our favorite things is not our favorite things, but one of the things I was looking forward to the most was
Roswell.
I didn't learn anything about aliens, but I just think it's so funny and kitschy and interesting to think about. existentially to think about aliens. And so we felt like it was only appropriate that for the 2024 theme this year, it would be the Bourbon Van road trip. And like we always do the road trip, but this year was the Bourbon Van road trip, and then it was the alien,
the Roswell spaceship.
Yeah, sucking up the Bourbon Van.
Quite proud of that. It turned out great. Yeah. Very happy with it.
It's very fun. In the Kensies, which everybody.
Yeah, Julie's been looking forward to these Kensies for a long time.
I'm like, I'll take them all.
Julie loves a Kenzie.
I love a Kenzie.
It's cherry pie with blueberries in it, like maybe a blueberry crumble, cherry blueberry crumble on the nose, a little bit of gentle smoke, almost like a sea salt presence. Some chocolate there too on the nose. That palate it's all those things amped up.
Delicious. So can I talk about, I just realized, can I talk about my...
I just want to say quickly the viscosity of this. My entire mouth palate is coated.
Mouth palate.
All the way around.
Single malts it's a different lane.
They're exciting to me. They are.
Yeah. I mean, this is completely different. It was a stop sign and we took a right.
Yeah. Hard turn.
And we went to the next
90-degree angle.
And we took another right.
As our friend Tommy,
maybe a left.
As our friend Tommy says, hang a Richard.
Who's Tommy?
You don't remember Tommy? He was a hang a Louie or hang a Richard.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I knew who you were talking about, but I don't remember.
Where's he now? South Carolina?
West Virginia?
West Virginia. There it is. Yeah. Did I distract you?
I'm just trying to think about what we're talking about. But, single malts are just so different. We joked that we were the single malt van only because when we were going through our road trip through the Southwest, we wanted to experience flavors of those areas.
Yes.
And things that are happening down there have a lot to do with the single malt movement. And it was really interesting. And we joked that in about 5 years, when it catches up over there.
Right. When it gets
we'll be super popular.
Yeah. Just a couple years from now, the videos that we recorded will be great. I mean, when it gets the TTB identification, when it's official, I really think that it's gonna blow, kick the doors open.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris style. That's Chuck Norris is the American single malt whiskey.
He's a great tasting note.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe Clint Eastwood smoking the hand rolled cigarette too.
Something cool.
But he just kind of pushed the door open, which is actually I feel like this is a little more aggressive.
Riding in on the horse.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette, doing a one-off comment. Everybody's like, ugh. And you're like, yeah, that guy means business.
Yeah.
Single malts.
I think that's true.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's old now.
Keep an eye on that guy.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Maybe Clint Eastwood from
the 70s, early
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is. He's really old now.
132.
I was going to say 90.
He and Bob Dylan, same age. They share a birthday.
They're both 132.
This is why you can't trust anything you hear on the internet.
Totally. Anyway, it's fine. Smoking, though. Light smoke.
This is delightful. This is so good.
We talked about this pick on our live streams before, but the reason that we picked this particular one, we had a nice tasting that day.
They're very nice.
Some of them weren't 90. Is that true? 94?
Clint Eastwood, yeah. How about that?
Wow. I was kind of joking when I said he was fairly old.
Yeah. He still seems like the type of guy to throw a brick through your window if you're being too loud when he's trying to sleep.
Pretty sketchy. Could live for, he could be good for another 10 years.
Well, I mean, I think somebody said it earlier that we lost Donald Sutherland today.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Julie doesn't look at the comments as they go. 94, I believe.
My contact popped out today.
What?
Did
you not put one back in? You're just wearing one?
I actually had to put it in my mouth, moisten it back up, throw it back in my eye.
Wait, you were eating jalapenos today.
Before lunch.
Oh, okay, good.
And then my nose started running because I have a whole thing, and people were like, "Are you?" It's a thing. Are you sick? No, I had to put my contact in, and my nose starts running.
Yeah. Are you upset about something? Yes, this meeting sucks.
Anyway, so that has nothing to do with, but that's really sad. I like Donald Sutherland.
Who doesn't like? I mean, Backdraft, right?
Wow, he was in Backdraft.
He was in Animal House.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just remember him as like a face. I don't remember what movies he's in, but wow, Animal House. Not a movie that really translates well to 2024 to 2024. But growing up with it, you give it kind of a pass.
Yeah, it was meaningful.
Yeah. It's kind of like Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
It
Donald
doesn't
Sutherland-
really hold up, but you kind of have to be a
Revenge
little
of the Nerds is really these
not
days
great.
you're like, oof,
Yeah.
Booger's still a cool guy.
Not great. I was gonna say not great. You had to. There's a time where like anybody that was born past a certain age, don't watch those,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
or you have to just.
Well, just set it aside. I mean, the times change. Culture's culture.
A lot of
The wheels
stuff I
keep
watch
turning,
these
but there's
days,
no
I'm
reason
like,
not to enjoy the things of the past.
I know we
They're
didn't know.
making a Spaceballs reboot. Did you hear? Or a sequel? Did you hear
No.
that? Josh
What?
Gad.
Who's that?
I don't know, but I don't. He's
Really? That's
so
like
the
a
guy
person?
who played. So Bill Pullman.
Is he the one that's still alive, or is he the
No,
one that's
I think Bill
gone?
Pullman's the one that passed away.
Okay.
So
'Cause
how
there
could
was,
you make a
like,
sequel
Bill
without
Pullman
him?
and Bill Paxton. Oh, yeah, they're like the same guy.
Are they both still around? No.
One
At
of
least
them
one of
is.
them's gone.
Yeah, one of them's gone. Yeah.
But the question everybody has is Rick Moranis, because Mel Brooks said he would never make another one if Rick Moranis
That's
wasn't on
crazy
board.
that Mel Brooks
And
is
Rick Moranis
still
has not
alive.
been on anything.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast with Mel Brooks last year. Still funny.
I
Still
wouldn't
really
be-
funny.
I feel like if I don't know where, I'm sure he lives in Los Angeles or something, but
Of course.
he would be a fascinating person to have coffee with.
Bill Paxton passed away.
Oh, Twister.
Julie's favorite movie,
My
Twister.
first date, I watched Twister in the movie theaters.
That's your second get out of jail. What is it? Hall pass.
No, Paxton?
Bill Paxton? Yeah.
No, I don't care about him. I kind of think like childhood stuff too. So, but that was my first movie, Twister. My first date. I saw Twister in the movie
Really?
movie theater. Yeah.
How'd that go? Very romantic or what?
No, it was my friend that lived down the street from me that we grew up since we were like 1 year old together, and we decided let's give it a shot.
Sounds like a fun date.
However old you are when you're in 6th grade, and then we went to see Twister, which is a great movie, and then we're like, wow, this is really weird. I've known you for literally my entire life, so we're just gonna peace out and see you at whatever junior high class we had the next day.
You weren't going to be his Helen Hunt.
It was not
Come
his
on.
Helen Hunt.
Come on.
It was all about the Mad About You times too, which is a theme in some part of our videos.
Bill Pullman's 70 and still with us, so he could reprise his role as Star. What in the world was his name?
Not Star Lord, Star.
Not Starjammer. That was the Starjammers were the X-Men. That was Corsair, Cyclops' dad. Upside down cat.
What was funny about Spaceballs is that it was May 4th.
May 4th.
May the 4th be with you. Our friend's a huge Star Wars fan, but we had just finished the catalog over the last year. And
All the Star Wars stuff.
we
watched
realized
all.
it was May 4th and like what were we going to do? So we watched Spaceballs because I thought, what a better way to celebrate than watching like the spoof version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I still love it.
There's a lot more content for them to pull from now.
And Rick Moranis is awesome.
He's great. Yeah. Fantastic.
But so I feel like
Lone Star.
Lone Star,
There
thank
you
you.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rick Moranis, what a interesting guy. You grew up with him with Strange Brew.
Of course.
He decided that he was top of like
His wife passed away, and
Yeah.
he wanted to raise his kids.
Well, I was gonna say Strange Brew. I grew up with him with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Sure.
That's the first time I ever knew who he was. Thought it was hilarious, and then his wife passes away, and he decides I'm gonna leave all of this success behind and raise his family. And I think that's so great, and I feel like after all these years, people still really
I mean,
love that about him.
I mean,
And he's
of course,
so
the best,
funny.
the best dude.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Bring him back.
All
Bring
right.
him back for Spaceballs 2.
Again, off the rails.
What are we?
What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
Let's keep going about Whiskey Del Mac.
It was great. Mine is gone. And I have to say, it's a great pick. Well done, us. I'm very proud of us. I'm very excited about that whiskey. It's great.
So, you know how I'm randomly glancing at the comments. They go past faster than I can read them when I pay attention. But when did Eric Gunderson join the crew?
Almost like 20 minutes in.
For
He's
real?
been around for
I thought
more
I
than
was
an
like,
hour.
Wow, Eric just showed up like right as we're probably going to wrap it up in
You
the next 10
didn't get
minutes.
Gunderstruck early on in this. Yeah, I've been Gunderstruck for an hour and a half now. Absurd.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Whoever said something, I was like, oh, doing my like, do. There's Eric.
What was that?
I was boop boop bopping. Anyway.
My wife, the robot. All right. Favorite whiskey of the night. Whiskey Del Mac. Winner. Just because we selected it. No. In all honesty, everything we tried tonight was fantastic. I had a great time. All these whiskeys were fantastic.
I don't count this because it's so different than
it's so
everything we
different.
drink.
Yeah. Starlight. I'm going with the bourbon. You're going with the Rise.
Yeah.
Starlight. Jeez. I'm the worst. Hard Truth Distilling Company. So sorry. I'm going to bourbon. Julie's going with the Rise, and these were fantastic. We loved every single one of these. So if you get the chance to try Hard Truth, do it. The bottles are super cool. Some of the best designs we've seen on the shelf over the last who knows how long. They're fantastic. What is going to happen for dinner tonight? What are we doing?
I think we're just going to take it easy.
I love
So
easy.
Rusty, we do have all the makings to make really amazing tacos.
Do we?
We've got ground turkey.
That's
we've
good.
got tortillas. We've
Sure.
got queso. We've got guacamole. We've got all the great things. But I feel like I'm going to be super lazy, hit the button on the oven, and just throw in a frozen pizza.
I don't have a problem with that. That sounds
Eric
great to
C's
me.
here. Was he here the whole time?
He's been here the whole time. So is
Dang
Kathy.
it.
Are you kidding me?
I did see Kathy at the beginning of the hour.
We are going to rewatch this after we sign off tonight, just so that Julie can see all the people that were actually here. I saw all of you, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for joining. We love you, Bourbon Van fam, and from wherever we are.
Oh, to wherever you are.
Cheers, everybody.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming.